Hey, how was your day? No, really. How was your day? So welcome back to the channel. Today we want to talk about 4 different types of days. And why we do this, or why I'm doing this, is because I often hear students answer the question, how are you, with I'm fine. And that's okay. Most of the time we do just say, oh, I'm fine, thank you. And oh, not so great. I'm all right. Just short answers. But sometimes we're with our friends, or sometimes we're just having small talk, and we want to give a little bit more detail about our day. Now, before continuing, I'd like to thank everybody that subscribed to the channel recently. I've got quite a bit of support in the last few weeks, and thank you, thank you, thank you. If you haven't yet, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell if you want, but at least subscribe and like, please. So we're going to focus on 4 types of days today. The first one would be a typical or ordinary day, a hectic day, a quiet day, and finally, a special day. And for each of those days, I'll give you some examples of the kinds of things that might have happened to you if you had a day like that. Let's start with an ordinary day. An ordinary day is just a normal, routine day. So if you asked me, how was your day? I would say, well, today was just a normal day, ordinary day. I woke up at my usual time and went to work. I had lunch at the same place as usual. After lunch, I worked a little bit more, came home. I don't usually meet people after work, so I just made some dinner and sat on the couch. Nothing unexpected, really, but I feel fine. I had a nice day. It was just a normal day. Let's talk about a hectic day. If you had a hectic day, hectic means busy. So you probably had so many things to do, you didn't have time to do any fun things or any of your hobbies. So if I had a hectic day, you asked me, I would say, oh my God, this morning was horrible. I missed my alarm. I got out of bed. I had 10 minutes to leave the house. So I had to rush really quickly, eat something quickly, shower, brush my teeth, and leave the house. By the time I was out of the house, it was rush hour. So I ended up getting to work like 5 minutes late, missed my first meeting. It was just a nonstop day. By the time I came home, I realized that I forgot my laptop at work. So I had to go all the way back to work, came back home for a second time, didn't have time to complete any of my errands or do any of my housework. The dishes are piling up in the kitchen. I ended up staying up late just to do some housework and do some extra work at night. So very hectic day. If you had a quiet day, then it was probably the weekend and you didn't do a lot, okay? Or maybe you just didn't work or go to school that day. So if you ask me, how was my day? I would say, I had a quiet day today. I didn't have to go anywhere in the morning, so I didn't set my alarm. I had a peaceful morning. I basically had breakfast at home, and then I sat on the couch. I really spent most of the day on the couch. Took a little time to watch some TV. I read a book that I've been reading for a while. I called one of my friends. We talked for a long time. Someone invited me to go out for dinner, but I just felt lazy. I didn't feel like I didn't want to rush anywhere. I just wanted to spend time alone. Lastly, a special day is a day where either you had a birthday or some kind of special celebration, or it could have been a special day because of some lucky coincidences that happened to you. So if you asked me, and I said, I had a really special day today. I woke up and I was getting prepared for just a normal day. But out of the blue, I got a phone call from an unknown number. And it was an old childhood friend who called me up and was in town. So we met up. We had a really quick coffee. I only had about 30 minutes before I had to go to work. But during the coffee, I got a phone call, and my boss told me that I didn't have to go to work. So suddenly I was free to do anything. So this friend and I ended up going to a museum, and I'd always wanted to go to this museum, but never had the chance to. So we went to this museum. After the museum, we grabbed some lunch. Then afterwards, we ran into some other friends from school. It was just a really great day. At the end of the night, I went home. I was so happy. I turned on the TV, and lucky for me, it was actually one of my favorite movies was on TV. A special day. So, all in all, as you can see, there are ways of describing your days other than just saying good or bad. And when someone asks you about your day, you normally don't want to mention things like, I slept all day. Maybe make it a little more interesting. I was really tired, so I spent most of the day in bed with my phone, just chatting with friends or watching movies or watching something. In a class setting, always try to give as much information as possible in your answers, but also when you talk to people, if you're very short in some of your answers, maybe it sounds a little rude or like you're not interested in talking to this person. All right, everybody. Now, I hope this video was useful for you, either in your daily life, if you speak with people in English, or if you're taking a test or something. I know I sound like a broken record, but please subscribe, like, and hit the notification bell if you can. And I hope to catch you soon. All right. Bye-bye.